Welcome to Coming Up Roses. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and today is Sunday, September 18th, 2022. Welcome to episode 75.
All right, so last week we actually did record a show, but we were so busy and it just, actually the show, we were tired and we were kind of frazzled, so we didn't put it out.
We never got it actually edited and put together. And
yeah, we just
too tired.
Yeah. So all of the Logans came down and we got them into the house in Sandbridge, and we had Jen here all week. So it's been a week,
Yeah.
And then we got them all out this morning. They were, and we had breakfast with a good portion of them. Got them all on the road, and then finally got home. So, whew.
It's been a quiet week, but kind of a crazy week all at the same time.
Yeah.
Just had a lot. We don't, I think we're used to just like not having a ton of things to do during the week. And this week it just seemed like we were busy with plans and people, and which was all good. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, you see people you haven't seen in a long time, or,
Got through my first week of school, which started off, and it progressively got better as the week went along. Friday was probably the best school day I've had in a long time.
That's good.
Things went smoothly. I got lessons done, had fun with the kids, felt like I made progress where we needed to. All in all, good day on Friday. So hopefully that wasn't just a fluke, and things will continue to be good when we go back on tomorrow.
Thursday night was cool because we went to, when you got off work, we picked you up, me and Jen, because Jen was in town, and we decided we were going to go get lobster rolls because Jen was with us. And it happened to be, we didn't know this at the time, but it was the day before Robin and Troy's anniversary, and they came out and had dinner with us. And it was a good night.
Yeah.
The weather is starting to change, getting a little cooler, which is nice.
Much less humidity.
And it's starting to get darker a little earlier, which is also nice.
We sat outside and watched the sunset pretty much at the Chesapeake Bay.
Yep, right at the Lesnar Bridge.
So
if you
had
folks
some
in the
lobster
area know.
rolls and some good conversations. So.
It was a good night. It was fun.
It was a very relaxing night for me.
Yeah.
Like, I literally could just feel the stress of the week just kind of washing away. Our garage door broke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing, too.
We had back and forths to the Sandbridge house with stuff that was left here or stuff they needed or things that were lost. My sister Jennifer was kind of running stuff back and forth and
troubleshooting stuff from a mother-in-law over the phone.
Oh, yeah. School stuff. And you had Thursday and Friday off, so your week was pretty short.
Yeah. Well, Thursday, we took and went up to visit with them. And that was cool. I visited with all of them while they were down there. Took Jen down. And then...
You saw more of my family than I did.
Yeah. And then Friday, we went down with Jen and Mike. So Thursday, I went down just to bring them stuff that they had forgotten that they needed. And then Mom sent me on a mad dash to Sam's Club because they were drinking all the Snapple, the diet Snapple, or if they had Snapple
They were running
Zero.
out of Snapple.
And I didn't know
That's pretty much all Mom drinks.
Yeah. Well, apparently all of them were drinking it. So I went to the Sam's Club and they didn't have it, which sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sam's Club is not very consistent about that. But I didn't know is that they actually looked for it the Friday before, so they knew, she knew that they didn't
Kevin,
have it.
Things come in stock every day at places like that. They get shipments of stuff every day.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so you got to see them more than I did because I was wiped out. And I went Sunday when they all got there and spent maybe an hour after we got them moved in, and then this morning when we moved them out. That was pretty much all that I saw them.
Yeah, got a lot of praise from Aunt Pat and Nan for the show. They enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Good to see you guys. Thanks for watching. They were saying all the stuff they liked about the show, and they were pretty happy with the product we put out.
Kevin, you're so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I took yesterday my weight loss journey, I'm still doing the Wonder program, but have kind of fell off the last couple of weeks of summer, and I'm having trouble getting back into the rhythm of things.
Well,
but
the last couple weeks
yesterday,
have been pure stress.
Yesterday was the first day that we didn't have, like, Jennifer had gone home, so the house was quiet. Michael was at work. I don't even think I got dressed yesterday. I stayed in pajamas all day, and it was just one of those, like, I just need this day. And we had bagels for breakfast, and we did Chick-fil-A, and we did KFC for dinner, and then I even topped it off with a milkshake, because I read this thing on Facebook about the Chick-fil-A Autumn Spice milkshake.
And let me tell you,
that was hilarious when I read it about how good this milkshake is. And I didn't want to get a whole one because I was afraid if I didn't like it. I'm not a big pumpkin spice fan.
But it's not pumpkin spice, which is weird.
Yeah, it tasted like eggnog to me.
Yeah, it was kind of like eggnog.
Yeah.
It had an eggnog note to it.
And eggnog I love in small. Like, I can't drink a whole thing of eggnog.
It was kind of like a... it's kind of weird. The description that you read on Facebook is actually accurate.
Yeah, it was like, it feels like going for a walk on a brisk November day with the leaves rustling around you. It feels like eating a cold turkey sandwich while you're planning to do your Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
It tastes like November.
It doesn't taste like pumpkin spice, but it does taste... It tastes like November. It really does. There's no other accurate description for it.
My favorite line
what they did with it
in the description was, I didn't have an autumn spice milkshake, it had me.
Yeah, it's really good. Go try it. It's really, really
so
good.
we went and got milkshakes last night, and I took a sip of Kevin's, and it was really good. But I shouldn't have had the milkshake, period, but it was just one of those, like...
You know, we've had busy last couple weeks.
And my weight loss has stayed stable. I haven't gained any weight back, but I haven't been losing. I'm plateaued somewhere here.
And you're still getting around a lot better.
I am getting around. I'm doing more walking. My knee is actually starting to protest a little bit because it aches a lot at night.
You were having a little bit of back thing. You laid down on the floor.
I don't get down on the floor because if I get down on the floor, I don't get back up again.
But you did.
I can get down, but I can't get back up.
But you did. You didn't even need any help. I mean, you were by the couch, so...
Right. I've been having this nerve. I think it's a pinched nerve in my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I'm a slightly hypochondriac. Hypochondriac. And so all week I was just like, I bet I'm getting shingles. Like, because it's just this like sensitivity in my skin, really. But if I reach up above my head for something, it'll pinch.
And I looked at it. I knew it wasn't shingles.
There's no rash or anything there. But now it feels like sunburn just across both shoulder blades, right at the nape of my neck.
But there's no burn.
It's really sensitive to touch. And so I don't know if I have a disc that's pressing on a nerve or something that's causing almost like this neuropathy kind of pain. But I bought one of those neck cloud pillows. It's like looks like a blue wave, and you lay down and you put your neck on it. It's supposed to help like stretch your neck out. But I always use it on the bed because I don't lay down on the floor on hard surfaces. But yesterday I was like, I just need to lay down flat. And I laid on the floor for maybe 10 minutes with and without the neck pillow. And then when I got back up, it actually did feel better. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it just, my back needs to be adjusted or whatever. But I said to Kevin, I'm like, I really just want to lay down on the floor. And he's like, well, go for it. If I'm on the floor, there's a problem. Yeah, but I was able to, do it all by myself. I didn't need anybody to help me.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was really awesome.
All that pressure on my knees getting up wasn't very fun, though. But it is what it is, My knees, I don't have any cartilage in either knee. So I'm going to have knee pain for the rest of my life no matter what I do. Until I get my knees replaced, which I don't plan on doing anytime soon. So I've been doing a lot more walking than I really ever have at work. In the last couple of years especially. But I've kind of been like, no, I'm going to push myself a little harder. And so the arthritis is starting to flare up in my right knee on the inside.
Yeah.
And it just aches all night long, and it feels tight. And
I wonder if we can get you some sort of knee, not so much like a brace, but maybe one of those.
A brace won't help.
Not a brace, but those things that help put pressure on the knee, you know?
Like a compression thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I need to break down and let
If
them
anybody's got
inject.
suggestions for that, let us
No,
know.
they need to just do that injection. I need to stop being a baby. It's just I'm terrified of the thought of them sticking a big needle inside my knee.
Yeah.
I'd rather live with the pain.
But they might need to do that.
Well, they can do that as long as I'm conscious. If
Well,
I
they
go
probably do.
unconscious for any reason, while I'm unconscious, say, hey, can you just put some...
Cortisone.
while she's out.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. So.
It's not cortisone. It's synthetic cartilage.
I remember
or
we
something.
were reading on the good news that there was something that they could do that was a lot better. A new silicone that they were using that was supposed to be good and should be in people's knees within a year. They
I'm
need to
like
get the fuck
that
on
wall, that the little Dutch boy plugs the wall with his finger. That's what I feel like. Like, I get one thing fixed and then I spring a leak somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. But I'm back on it. Today I didn't do too bad today. I did have a whole glass of orange juice, which is a lot more sugar than I should have had, but it was really good.
It's so bizarre this popped in my head, but I hope somewhere in Dutch or whatever, was it?
In Dutch?
What is it?
Holland.
That they have, as a joke, put either a bronze statue or like a skeleton of a kid with their finger on one of the dikes. I just think that would be hilarious. I hope to God that somebody's had the forethought to do that. That would be great.
What I'm noticing, look at the camera.
Yeah, I know.
What is that?
It's my beard. It's doing something weird. I trimmed it.
You didn't trim it right there.
Right where?
Right here.
Well, I did, but it's still like super dark for some reason. I don't understand why that happened.
It's like when I turn around, my hair in the back is dark.
Yeah.
My hair in the front is really light.
Yeah. I need to.
I'm like Two-Face.
I need to either bring it all off or I don't know. It's hard. I don't know what to do with it.
I don't know what to do with
We're all
it
jacked
either.
up.
We have been peeping the Blue Angels overhead this weekend.
We're pretty close to the air base, which they had an air show. But really, when we were at the school, after picking you up on Thursdays when we got the best show.
You get like a good view. Yeah,
Or Fridays when we got the best show.
In Virginia Beach, they do the air show Saturday and Sunday. On Friday, they do an air show just for fifth graders. So all the fifth graders in the city of Virginia Beach, and there's, I want to say, 58, 60 elementary schools. All the fifth graders go to the base, and they go to the air show. And they do a lot of STEM, robotics, and all kinds of things while they're there. So they had them flying, and my school really sits, probably less than a mile, I would say, if you do a straight line between the runway and my school. Maybe a little more than that.
No, it wouldn't be much more.
Not much more. So when they're flying around over the base...
You're less than a mile from the fence line.
Probably.
Yeah.
We were getting really good views.
Yeah.
And the kids at recess were watching the Blue Angels fly, which is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Thursday afternoon, we walked the kids out to buses, and they were flying, and I just sat at a picnic table and for like 10 or 15 minutes after the buses left and just watched them fly around in formation and stuff. It was really cool. So that's been going on this weekend. We've lost some pictures off the walls that have been on our walls for
we use
ever.
the Hercules, or I guess 3M strips with the Velcro.
command strips.
Command strips, yeah.
The picture hanger
And they
ones.
do pretty good, but after a while, the sticky does wear off. It does.
But it's been years.
But it has been years. So.
And they fly so close and at such high speeds to our house. You really do feel, it rattles the house a little bit.
Yeah.
So this morning we lost some pictures in the hall, in the living room, and we lost one in the hallway. They didn't break or anything. but we
We
just
put them
have
back
to,
up. We just
have
had
to put
to
'em back
wipe
up.
the wall
We'll
down
wait
and-
until the air show's over today, and then we'll put it back up.
Yeah, which means I got to go to the Walmart and pick up some command strips.
So that's been kind of cool this week. I don't know what else is going on.
That's it. We've had, that's it. We've had people visiting. We've been back and forth with them.
I had a really nice dinner with my sister and 2 of my cousins
Yeah, that was cool. I
on Tuesday night. We
one of our
sat
favorite restaurants.
at one of our favorite restaurants for about 3 hours, and I had a really nice conversation, and so that was a lot of fun. Thursday night we had dinner with my friend, with Robin and Troy. Friday night we went to Mission Barbecue and had dinner with my sister before we took her to the airport.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of eating out adventures this
And
week.
good stuff too. So
Mission Barbecue, their turkey is so delicious.
their brisket's really good too. Everything there is really good. I mean, you're not going to get a bad bite out of Mission.
No,
So-
you're really not. Yeah, so there's all that. I went over and visited with another friend of mine. I guess it was Wednesday for a little while. I hadn't seen her in a while. So it was just a good week of seeing people and catching up and, Now Mom and Dad are home. Tilly's happy. All her pack is back. And so she's in there cuddling
cute.
up.
She was cuddling up with your mom. That was nice.
Yeah, even Dad, she jumped up and gave him some kisses.
Yeah.
Glad to see them home. So, yeah. That's all that. And now next weekend we got to close the pool.
Got to close the pool, which means I got to, one day this week I got to go through and get some of the leaves down at the bottom, which I'm going to try to do outside of the pool. And then I got to get the chemicals right. And then Saturday, Michael's off. We'll put the cover on. And then we'll be done with that
You
until...
have to disconnect everything and dry them.
I know how to do that, though. I gotta lower the level of the water.
And to pump some of the water out.
I gotta pump some of the water out, so I gotta do that. I'll do that sometime this week, after I get all the chemicals right.
Yeah, because it has to filter through.
It's got to filter through. Yeah,
Yeah.
The chemicals have got to filter through. So I can do the kit. I'll do the kit maybe Tuesday, and that'll give us time to let the thing run through, and then by Friday I'll be able to pump some of the water out. And Saturday I get Mike to help me put the cover on. So I got a plan.
We didn't use the pool very much this year at all.
Yeah.
We didn't. We need to get rid of the neighbor's tree.
Yeah, we need.
They drop so much stuff into the pool, and it's like every time you go in the pool, it takes an hour just to clean it.
Yeah.
And
Plus, when we did have time to do it, it was always raining, and it's just been...
yeah, it was a weird summer for that. Weird summer. So I
Your
don't know.
sister got us hooked on
The Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones. So on HBO, if you get a chance, it is a crazy show, but it's so hilarious.
I mean, it's inappropriately funny. I mean, if you're offended by nudity or foul language, it's not for you. But that stuff doesn't really offend me. I find it really funny.
But the situations they come up with, it's like, oh my God.
So yeah, and I'm not much of a binge watcher. Like, people say, oh, you have to watch this, you have to watch that. And I'm not the type of person that can sit and, like, watch
The only
3 or
thing
4
I've ever
episodes of
seen
anything in a row.
binge watch is The Walking Dead.
I binged The Walking Dead. I just lose focus. I think it's because of the iPad, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can switch activities so fast on the iPad, and I listen on the TV. I think that's kind of what did it. But The Righteous Gemstones has been really funny. And then I guess I'm going to have to watch Ted Lasso because I keep hearing everything about how wonderful Ted Lasso is.
It's a good show.
And so that will be when I'm done with Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good show.
Different kind of humor, I'm assuming. It's probably not nudity and foul language in Ted Lasso.
There's not any nudity in Ted Lasso.
No murderous
No,
killings
like
and...
in the beginning, the plot is almost exactly from Major League.
I've seen the first episode.
Yeah. The first 3 episodes is basically the plot for Major League.
Let me ask you a question. Is the guy who has the really annoying voice in The Hangover in Ted Lasso, You know the guy with the real nasally voice? Is there anybody from The Hangover
No.
in Ted Lasso? Okay.
No.
There's
You're
some
thinking
guy.
Jason Sudeikis. You're confusing with oh God, what is his name? Not Bradley Cooper, but the other one.
The other one, who was the dentist.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of his name.
It's not the same guy.
No,
Okay.
no.
That might be why I wasn't interested, because I felt like it was him.
No, it wasn't.
But I the dentist guy on The Hangover I liked. It was the other one that had that real nasally voice. I can't stand him.
Galifianakis?
No.
Fuck, I don't know. But no one from The Hangover is in Ted Lasso.
Is it The Hangover or is it Tag?
Oh,
the real
you're
nasally
talking about.
voice.
I know who you're talking about. You're thinking about Charlie Day.
Okay.
He was in Horrible Bosses.
Right, he's not in this.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
I don't know why.
You do have a horrible hatred for Charlie Day.
It's his voice.
Yeah,
I just don't like it.
but he wasn't in Tag, was he? That wasn't Charlie Day.
I don't know.
Charlie Day.
I'm the worst person to ask. I'm not
Tag's
a
a great
movie goer. Tag is a great movie.
Yeah, Tag is a great movie.
For someone, I mean, I could probably go the rest of my life without going to a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tag was a good movie. Hangover was a good movie. That's the inappropriate humor you're gonna find in
Gemstones.
Yeah.
Right, Righteous Gemstones. Great.
I like that kind of humor where it's okay that it's offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just find it funny. That's the kind of things I find humor in. People not being offensive to be assholes, but just like offensive humor I find funny. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Dark humor.
Dark humor.
Yeah. So I'm not like the wholesome humor. That is, to me, bores me. You know, maybe that's what I'm getting the feeling from Ted Lasso. Like, it's just too heartwarming and this and that. That bores me.
It has that, but there's still enough in there that's inappropriate because the British are.
Is it British?
It's British largely because that's where it takes place.
Okay.
But it's not. It's closer to Benny Hill than it is to like Downtown Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
Whatever the fuck it's called. That I don't understand why people like that show at all. Your mom liked it, watched it, and I'm just like, God, I don't give a fuck about these.
Well,
people.
I mean, but people like different things. I am not the period piece.
Yeah.
Like Downton Abbey or what was the other one?
With all the sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it either. Bridgestone, whatever the hell it was.
Bridgestone is a
aside
tire.
from the near porn in it, it was like.
But also The Handmaid's Tale and stuff like that. I just can't get into that.
Yeah.
Like heavy. I have to be able to laugh at something.
Yeah.
I don't want to invest a lot of time watching something that's just gonna frickin' depress me.
And that's why the Impractical Jokers is your show.
Even that, I don't watch as much anymore. I listen to it.
Yeah.
And even then...
Well, you've seen every episode like a dozen times.
A dozen times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's just, oh, there's Sal and he's about to do this. Or, oh, this is when Joe does this.
And they're fun. Their humor is inappropriate at times, too. A lot of people don't like it because they find it mean.
Yeah, but it's not.
And I just don't see it that way. I just feel like,
they're mean to each other, and that's great.
Sometimes there have been bits they've done that I felt were mean to the person.
Yeah.
Like the one where they had to fall in love with somebody in the park.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like that was mean. That poor lady. I'm sure she didn't take him seriously, but still.
Yeah.
That's not my favorite bit. But they do so many other things that are just...
Great.
Yeah, they're just fun to laugh at. I want to laugh at things that without being judged.
There you go.
There I go. So trying to think of anything else. Yeah, that was pretty much our week.
Yeah. They're putting the Queen in the ground, today?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
5 a.m. our time, I think 9 a.m. their time in London.
Yeah.
I haven't been following any of that. I really haven't watched any news recently. I haven't paid attention to anything.
And there's no need to.
I think for my own mental health, I have to just take a hard pass on all that stuff. I know what and who I care about. And when it comes time to vote, I will look at the candidates and look into their stances and all of that kind of stuff, and I'm just filtering out the rest of the BS because right now we're in this place where it's like close enough to an election that all they're trying to do is tear each other apart.
And we're getting all the crazy phone calls. Everybody is.
I'm not interested in that. Like, I just I know what I believe in. I know what I want to support. I want to look for candidates that align to me as closely as possible and then vote and be done with it. I'm tired of all the attack ads and stories come out and you're like, oh, well, that was perfectly timed because of this election. Or, like, nothing feels sincere anymore.
No, it doesn't.
And so I just have to...
Well, because they've made everything political. Everything is political.
I mean, even, like, Disney is remaking The Little Mermaid, a live-action Little Mermaid, and they cast a black actress to play the Little Mermaid. And there's people, like, if you're on Twitter, I guess... in an uproar over this, and I don't understand why does anybody even care? It's a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, let them do that. Go see it. Enjoy it or don't enjoy it.
Or don't go.
Don't go. But they have creative rights to do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, they brought the material and they own it.
So why does anybody care?
Yeah.
I don't care. Change him to a merman and switch the gender roles around. It would make no difference to me. Because quite honestly, I wouldn't see it anyway.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I just don't care.
The other live action remakes of the cartoons, they haven't thrilled me. I haven't really even watched them. Because if I wanted to watch them, I'd go back to the original source material that is great. You know, you're never going to make... Little Mermaid better than the cartoon that they made back in the 80s. They're never going to make a Beauty and the Beast that's better than freaking Angela Lansbury singing a song while they're dancing. They're never going to top that.
I mean, that was just everyone's gold standard.
Yeah.
Right? Just because it was a Disney animated movie.
Yeah.
They could have made Princess Ariel black in the animation. It would have made zero difference to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, and I'm not saying that I'm not interested in seeing it because of that reason. I wouldn't have been interested in seeing it if they had found a spitting image of the animated mermaid.
Yeah.
I mean, I just am not interested. And I don't care. I mean, I love Hamilton. I've watched it numerous times. I'm addicted to the music. And George Washington, all the characters are black.
Yeah.
So what?
And I don't even mind... remakes or like Quantum Leap is starting Monday night, and I am so looking forward to it. Now, it could suck. It could be the worst thing ever.
Like, what if they made, what's the guy who would, not the guy who jumped from place to place, but his...
Al.
What if that was a female?
It is.
Oh, in the remake, it's a female?
Yeah. Well, It's not a remake. It's a continuation of the story.
Okay, but that character that was traditionally played by a man is now a woman. Does that bother you at all?
No. Now, if they were saying we're remaking, and Sam Beckett and Al Calavici, and they changed the genders and whatnot, it's like, that's not the story. Sam is a very unique character. Al is a very unique character. They actually could not remake it the way they did. If you watch it on Peacock, there's no way they'd get away with the shit that Al does.
Oh, well, we were talking about that, just like we were talking about the movie Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Which isn't even that old of a movie, but they could not do it today.
There's no way. There's no way. But it's great stuff, right? So I don't mind. They're continuing the story, and I'm actually, the reason I'm looking forward to it is I do want them to explain what their take is on what happened to Al and Sam, because the finale was so horrible.
Are you going to be pissed if they don't even address it?
I will be pissed, yeah. Like, if they act like that didn't happen, fuck that, man. They need to address it. They have to acknowledge that those guys were out there doing it.
I would say that I am more interested in seeing more diversity in original characters.
Absolutely.
Like, bring on movies that have diverse characters naturally as part of the movie.
There's a rich, and one of the things that they could do, instead of like, there's a big thing about, well, we're going to produce a movie with a black Superman. You don't need to do that. DC is riddled with great black characters that they've never put on film. The Marvel's the same way. I'd love to see Luke Cage done in a movie properly. The TV series just didn't do it right. I'm sorry, they didn't.
Or create new characters.
Create a new character, yeah. You don't need to make, we'll make Superman
But you
black,
do realize it's not just about Marvel and Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, there are other franchises out there besides Marvel and Disney.
Sure. One of the best franchises ever. And they did try to make it into a film, which was, they screwed up. They tried to make it PG-13, but Spawn is one of the greatest characters ever. One of the top-selling characters outside of Marvel and DC is a black character. Fantastic. The mistake they made was when they made the movie, they made it PG-13. And Spawn is not a PG-13 character. He's like Deadpool. He has to be rated R.
You just keep going to superhero examples.
Thing. That's my
thing. But
thing.
there's like movies that stand alone and aren't part of like a superhero.
Yeah. Well, they're
like just movies. I just want to see movies that have diverse characters in it. Original movies.
Alex Cross is a great a black character, non-superhero. He's a great detective. I'm all for it.
If you read those books, because there's so little dependence on him being black.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be. It needs to become so normalized that you don't have to make the statement.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But anyway, that was a big thing. Apparently, I didn't see it. I wasn't on Twitter at all this week, but I heard that people were all pissed about it.
Yeah, and, people having shitty opinions always makes the news. You know what? Whatever.
The few people the squeaky wheels out there, and the rest of the world, I think, just goes about business, not really giving
a single shit about
two thoughts to whether or not Ariel's going to be black or white or Japanese. I mean, whatever. Just make a good movie. Just make a good movie that's worth going to see. You know?
If they did make her Japanese, would they make sushi jokes? Aunt Pat's laughing at that one. That's for you, Aunt Pat.
You know, and they cast Will Smith as the genie when they when they did Aladdin.
And that's tough.
And the reason I had a problem with that is I didn't feel like he did the role justice because he was in Robin Williams' footsteps on that one. And
you can't.
He was the genie.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. No one's going to play that better than Robin Williams did.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, those are tough shoes to fill.
That's a hard one. I
had a hard time with it. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed the movie. Mm-hmm. But it just, they're just trying to remake a movie. Just make another movie. An original movie. Mm-hmm. He could have been another genie. Because the lamp did get sent off into the sand somewhere at the end, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right, so just make a new movie.
Make a movie about a free genie. What's the genie going to do now that he's free?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. We can get in the weeds on that.
Yeah. All right. We've got...
Is it most likely?
Who's most likely to?
All right, go.
All right. I'm going first. Isn't sure if it's a good idea. Oh, that's you. Because I'll just blunder into whatever. I'll just straight up blunder into it. Because, I figure I can handle it. I can deal with whatever. So.
I have a much harder time making decisions.
Well, it's not necessarily about decisions. You just
deciding if something is a good idea or not is making a decision on it.
Yeah. Some of that though is because of your dad. Because your dad has this thing, and it's probably from his job. But whatever plan that you come up with, he immediately finds ways to shit on it. Like he's trying to find where there's going to be problems, which is what he did for a living. Which helped his company out for sure, no doubt.
I don't think it's that. I think it's that when I make a decision, I'm immediately second guessed. But I would do it this way, or but I would do it that way. Or if I were you, I would. I hear that a lot. And then I always feel like I'm going the wrong way. I'm always,
Meanwhile, I'm like Leroy Jenkins. I'm just running in. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So I guess it would be me. All right, which of us is most likely to have no idea what's going on?
Mostly because I just run in and say, all right, let's do it. What are we doing?
Or he will, we were setting up our podcasting equipment, and I was just sitting here waiting, and he's on his iPad just playing Factal, completely oblivious to the fact that I'm just sitting here waiting. You get in a zone, and it's almost like your hearing goes, and...
Well, I just figured you were getting all the stuff ready. You make notes, but I'm just making shit up as I go.
I didn't make notes. Look, these notes were the same notes I used from last week that I scratched everything out on as we talked about it.
You were just using the same episode number.
I am. We never posted last week, so this is still 75.
Trust me, you're not missing anything last week.
Last week, you're probably not missing anything this week, but last week's was not.
I think we're putting out a good product
that
this
great.
week. I think we are. And Pat's going to laugh.
I heard on one of the podcasts I was listening to, one of the questions was, how would life be different if your genitalia was on your face? And they had a very long conversation about how things would be so weird. It was on Tell 'em Steve David. It was they had to do a mini podcast. It was a competition.
Oh.
And that was one of the topics. Another one was, if the Pinocchio thing was real and every time you lied your nose did grow 1/8 of an inch, how would that change society?
Yeah.
And
some people would have a hard time driving.
This police officer was like, well, it'd make my job a lot easier because you'd be able to tell if someone was lying right away. But, yeah, so it was kind of funny. They go into it, though, it becomes a whole... You do this with your friends, too. You can take, a topic that's completely bizarre and have a 2-hour-long in-depth conversation about it.
Yeah. We've done it. We've talked about the politics of Star Wars universe in detail.
Yeah, what other nerds haven't talked about that?
Yeah.
At least you weren't talking in actual whatever language they speak.
Oh, I can't do that shit. Not even...
Was it Corellian or is that Star Trek?
Well, Star Trek people, there are some Star Trek people that can speak fluent Klingon, which is fucking bullshit. No one can...
Is there a fluent Klingon to speak?
There is a language that people can speak and learn. It was a completely made... because the Klingons and the language has been used in the show since the original show, but mostly through Next Generation and particularly through...
so those words that they babble, all those words have meaning?
Oh, yeah.
They're not just babbling words to make it sound like they're talking to each other.
There were colleges that did full courses in how to speak Klingon.
Those are the kids that are graduating and not being able to find a job. Why would you need to know that? Who's getting paid to teach that?
They're probably working at Paramount Plus.
All right. Hit me with your next card.
That's a joke. Goes to party dressed as Wizard, Shazam, or Minotaur. Neither one of us are good about...
of the two of us, the only one that has worn a costume in the entire length of our marriage is Kevin. So I have to put this on Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah. The costume I wore was for the last time we did a show was at the Halloween Cedar Hall.
Haunted Hollow.
Yeah. Well, Cedar Hall was the first one was I really liked on the farm. Mm. That gig was I was dressed up like a farmer. I had my beard growed out. This picture's on Facebook. And,
wait, did you just say I had my beard growed out?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was before it went gray. It was actually, in retrospect, it was nice.
He had grown out his beard.
Thing. Yeah.
His beard growed out.
And but the best day was after the last day of the show, and I got to shave it. Richard was pissed. He's like, "We might have to do makeup days." I'm like, "All right, well, I'm gonna do it without that beard. It's gone."
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah.
You look like Grizzly Adams.
Yeah. And then the last 2 years we did at this old abandoned airport out in Pungo, which if you say that out loud and think, where could you film Scooby-Doo? In an abandoned airport out in Pungo. Such a Scooby-Doo setting. It was great. And the first year I was Hillbilly with Adam. And then I went around through a couple of the scenes where they needed people. I did a zombie and a wolfman, and I didn't do great as a wolfman because, you're kind of half expected to run. I'm like, Richard, this is just a shitty idea. So,
I think the last costume I wore was when I was maybe 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Mom and our dad built a stoplight. And I got in it and it had switches and everything. I could turn the lights on and off. I'm not a Halloween. I don't enjoy costumes. It's not my thing.
But the noises are starting next door at the haunt club.
Now that I do enjoy. Someone else get out there and act crazy. I like the feeling of it. I just don't want to be a part of it. Can only make plans one day out.
That is not either one of us. Well, I guess me. But you make plans well in advance.
And then I work hard to get out of them. Just my
Well, no, we've got plans in a couple of weeks. We're going to the mountains.
Which reminds me, I have completely forgotten what hotel I made that reservation in.
Oh, shit.
And our traveling email address has been just whatevered.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'm pretty sure I have deleted the email.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So this has happened to us before where we've had to call around and go, do I have a reservation? I mean, I want to say it's the Country Inn and Suites. No.
You didn't pay already?
No.
Do
Don't look through it right now. We're filming a podcast right now. Yeah. Don't do it right now. But you might have to be making some phone calls.
Yeah. Shit.
I think I remember what the hotel was. But I'm not 100%
You called somebody the other day and kicked ass. What was it? I can't remember what it was, but you called somebody.
Dealt with something.
Yeah.
I don't usually deal with things on the phone, but I did that day. Yeah, I had to. Yeah. That was really great. Okay, go.
Dances on tables. That's neither one of us.
Never will. Never did. All right. Does it because it's cool?
Neither one of us are that. Yeah. We're just burning right
We're
through
thrilling
these.
you, people.
Breaks into own house. I've done that. I've had to do that. Not here. Well,
we've had to break in here before when the garage door wouldn't open, which was one of our things this week. Yeah. I've broken into someone else's house unintentionally.
Yeah.
Thought it was a house I was supposed to be staying at. Turns out I broke into the wrong house. Yeah. Lucky I got away from that without getting in trouble.
I broke into the Suffolk house. I remember because I had to crawl through the bathroom window. I had to get a little ladder and crawl up to the bathroom window and crawl into it while the cops were in there getting gas right next door watching. I guess they just realized how fat ass forgot his keys. They just, you know.
And there wasn't a first floor window you could crawl into?
That's where the bathroom was.
Oh, okay.
I thought was the bathroom high enough off the ground that I wasn't about to jump up to it.
Well, I mean, these windows are high enough off you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
All right. Says they literally failed that test. Gets a 98%.
Neither one of them. Well, I guess you're a little bit more of a perfectionist than I am.
I took a test in college one time that I actually earned a 0 on. I missed every question.
Man, you usually get like 2 points for putting your name on it.
Yeah, no, not this time. I will never forget it as long as I live.
Jesus.
I actually took it and earned a 0. And I was in college. That's pretty bad. That tells you how much. That was before I quit school because I was so burned out. And then I quit school for a while. And then I went back and got serious about it.
Changes song every 30 seconds.
That's me. If the beginning of it comes on and I don't want to listen to it, I just flip it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing with...
You don't do that. You listen.
I do that.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Mostly when I'm on my own, if I got playlists, and even though I've made the playlist and the songs are there by my choice, if I'm not in the mood for that, I'll just skip to the next one until I get to the song I'm in the mood for.
Yeah. I hear you. I do it too. Buys dino nuggets.
I guess chicken nuggets in the shape of dinosaurs.
Don't do that. Don't have children. Maybe if I had children. What makes the dino-shaped nugget more fun than just a regular shaped nugget?
Just like, well, I guess with anything. There's all kinds of kids' food that are shaped alphabet soup. I don't know. Dinosaur-shaped pasta and pastas and different shapes.
Just let your kids eat regular chicken nuggets and avoid the problem down the road when they're going to school and they don't get dino-shaped chicken nuggets or smiley face french fries, which they get sent, And the kids go, I can't eat this because they're not shaped like dinosaurs. And it's the same frickin' processed chicken pressed into a shape.
You know how you get away with that? Well, that's the dinosaur's footprint.
It's the dinosaur's nuggets.
That's dino poop.
Oh my gosh. Just eat regular nuggets. If you're going to eat nuggets, just eat regular nuggets. That's what I say. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has there been any good news that we didn't talk about? Well, I guess last week's good news we didn't really.
Yeah, let's see. What's in the Good News Network? Woman hailed as hero for using drone to locate over 200 lost pups for free.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. Toddler
200.
given cancer prognosis of 6 to 12 months defies the odd, declared cancer-free in 8 months. Well, that's good news.
I hope it stays like that.
Let's see. New poll reveals the secret to happiness is practicing gratitude. All right.
What is that?
What, that one?
Oh, come on. Is that a news story? Don't you know if you're
Just be thankful for stuff. Saturn's rings could have been formed by missing moon that smashed into planet 160 million years ago. How did they figure that shit out?
It says could have been.
Yeah, they're just making
That
shit
it
up.
could have been anything.
Somebody had a shitty theory and they put it in the news. That's what that is. Passengers flying to Hawaii surprised with free ukuleles and a lesson aboard world's happiest flight. All right.
I'm not sure how happy I would have been if everybody had a ukulele on an airplane.
Guam kingfisher could soon return to the wild after 30-year absence thanks to antibiotics. Ambitious scientists. I don't know what that
How about this one? Innovative paint cools down the school playground by 12 degrees. I don't feel like I'm in an oven.
That's nice.
There we go. Paint.
Like a light blue. Looks like a light blue, which probably
absorbs. Doesn't reflect. It absorbs.
Yeah.
If it reflects, that's what makes it hot, right?
I guess.
All right, one more.
To introduce 10 new electronic motorcycles and scooters to ease air pollution in Asia's megacities.
There you go.
Yeah.
They all ride those little scooters anyway. Just make them electric little scooters. If we have to do it in this country, they should have to do it in that country too.
I mean, but it depends on the distance they have to go to, which I guess in the city...
I mean, how far are you going on a scooter in the first place?
Yeah, even with gas-powered scooters, yeah.
You're not going that far. So that makes more sense to me than saying by 2035 we're not going to sell gas-powered cars anymore.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see how our infrastructure right now can support the number of people who would have to be charging their vehicles when they're driving.
We need more nuclear power everywhere. We need nuclear power. I
just don't know how that will work out.
Nuclear power.
So I guess in 2034 I'll be buying a new car. And just holding on to that shit as long as I can.
Yeah, I mean, whatever car you have now, you would have to keep for long distance travel. Because you'd have to have a gas-powered car for long-distance travel. There's no way.
Yeah, unless you want to add hours into your trip by having to stop every 2 hours and charge your car.
Yeah.
Because they say your car can get 500 miles on a charge, but if you don't turn on the air conditioning or you don't roll your windows down at all, or if you're never sitting in idle, or if you're not going above 60 miles an hour, if you're actually using your heat or your air, then you might get a lot less time on your battery.
Yeah.
And then... you have to find some place to stop. It's going to take, I mean, even the Tesla high-speed chargers, which are like 45 minutes, what if there's 10 people waiting for them?
Yeah.
So, like, you just have to wait. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be logistically possible.
Not in the type of time.
I mean, it takes you 4 or 5 minutes to fill your gas tank.
They're saying less than 10 years, they want all of California to be on
Virginia.
Cars. And Virginia, yeah. And there's just no infrastructure for it.
There isn't.
There really isn't.
No, and they need to start that now, and they're not.
And because there's no nuclear power, they, like in California, they're telling people, you know, try to front load your power early on in the day so that you can turn shit off at night. Don't charge your cars from this time to this time. So you're all going to be forced to have an electric car, but you're also not going to be able to charge it from certain hours.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get how they don't see that problem coming.
Because they're short-sighted. They're very short-sighted. That's what they do. They're just thinking, oh, well, we'll fix this one problem.
Everybody says, oh, they'll have it all worked out.
Problem.
Oh, they'll have it all worked out.
They
and I'm
will.
like, we're putting a lot of faith into...
We're putting a lot of faith in a group of people that have a long, drawn-out history of fucking shit up. That's what government is. You put your faith in a entity that has a long history of making things worse. They go to whatever problem they're trying to fix. They usually fix it by making a different problem or making the current problem worse. That is their long history.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know me, Kevin. I'm just happy to go along with what you say. All right.
That's it for the Good News Network this week.
Yeah, not that much good news.
No,
And half of those stories were bogus anyway because it's stuff we already knew. Oh, if you have gratitude, you'll be a happier person. Well, no shit.
Yeah. I mean, not that we're saying don't be ungracious. You definitely express gratitude.
You should express gratitude.
Be grateful for what you have, and for what you can, what people do with you and for you. Always be grateful for it. But is it a thing that's worthy of news? I guess it's better than hearing about the latest sex scandal from the Kardashians.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we got to put a spin on it. That'll be the spin we take.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So we will be back next Saturday or Sunday. Maybe.
Back to some boring. Back to our boring stuff.
Back to our boring life. We got to do some things to liven it up.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Something going on over there?
No, nothing.
Okay. All right. Until then.
Bye, everybody.